The Eternal Journey of Arjuna, a Monk's Tale. In the serene valley nestled between towering mountains of the Himalayas, a remote monastery stood as a symbol of quietude and reflection. Its walls echoed with the chants of monks who sought enlightenment free from the material bindings of the world. Among these monks lived Arjuna, a man of quiet dignity and intense inner struggles. Arjuna was not born a monk. He was the son of a wealthy merchant who dealt in silk and spices. His life was one of luxury, indulgence, and comfort. Raised in the bustling town of Varanasi, Arjuna had access to the best education, food, and experiences that wealth could afford. However, despite his material abundance, an emptiness gnawed at his soul. The cacophony of city life, the endless pursuit of wealth, and the constant competition left him feeling spiritually hollow. From a young age, Arjuna was drawn to the stories of ancient sages and monks who forsook the world in search of a deeper meaning. He read about the great philosophers, saints, and teachers who renounced materialism and lived in harmony with nature, searching for inner peace. These stories planted a seed of restlessness within him. One fateful evening, at the age of 24, Arjuna stood at the bank of the Ganges River as the sun set. The holy river, revered for its sacredness, shimmered under the golden rays of the departing sun. In that moment, Arjuna felt an inexplicable pull toward something higher, something beyond the noise of the world. He resolved to leave his life of luxury behind and embark on a spiritual journey. The journey to the Himalayas. After bidding a tearful farewell to his family, Arjuna left Varanasi. He walked for days, crossing rivers, forests, and villages, with nothing but a staff and a begging bowl. His destination was a monastery nestled deep in the Himalayas, where he had heard of a revered master known as Swami Dhyan. This monastery was not just a place of learning, but a refuge for those seeking spiritual enlightenment. As he traversed through difficult terrain, hunger and fatigue tested his resolve. But each step away from his former life felt like shedding layers of his ego. Arjuna found solace in nature. The rustling of leaves, the distant calls of birds, and the gentle hum of the wind whispered to him secrets of the universe. One night, while resting by a riverbank, Arjuna met an old hermit. This hermit, with eyes that seemed to pierce through the veil of illusion, asked, "Why do you seek to become a monk, young man?" Arjuna, filled with a sense of purpose, replied, "I seek truth. I seek to know myself. I seek liberation from the worldly attachments that bind my soul." The hermit smiled, but his eyes carried a deep sadness. The journey to truth is not one of renunciation alone. Be mindful, for even in a monastery, ego and attachment can thrive in hidden forms. Beware of pride, even the pride of being humble. These words stirred something within Arjuna, but before he could ask more, the hermit disappeared into the forest, leaving him with a lingering sense of uncertainty. Life in the monastery. Upon reaching the monastery, Arjuna was welcomed by the community of monks. The monastery was a world apart from the one he had known. It was simple, with modest rooms and a large prayer hall where monks chanted scriptures, meditated, and performed rituals. Swami Dhyan, the head monk, was a man of profound wisdom and silence. His mere presence commanded respect. Arjuna felt an instant connection to the Swami, as if he had known him for lifetimes. Under his guidance, Arjuna began his rigorous training in meditation, mindfulness, and self-discipline. Life in the monastery was slow and deliberate. The monks rose before dawn, their days filled with meditation, chores, and study. The outside world seemed distant and irrelevant. Arjuna found peace in the simplicity of it all, the lack of distractions, the focus on inner growth, and the brotherhood among the monks. Yet, despite the peaceful surroundings, Arjuna's mind was not as serene as he had hoped. His thoughts often wandered back to the life he had left behind. Memories of his family, the temptations of wealth, and even the face of a woman he had once loved surfaced in his meditations. The more he tried to suppress these thoughts, the more they seemed to invade his consciousness. One evening, during a quiet moment with Swami Dhyan, Arjuna confessed his struggles. "Master, I have renounced the world, yet my mind still clings to it. How can I truly free myself from these attachments?" Swami Dhyan, in his characteristic calmness, replied, "Renunciation is not about abandoning the world, but about transcending it. You cannot escape your past or your desires by running away. You must confront them, understand them, and in doing so, dissolve their hold over you." The test of ego. As the years passed, Arjuna's spiritual practice deepened. He became one of the most disciplined and respected monks in the monastery. His ability to meditate for long hours, his mastery of ancient scriptures, and his unwavering commitment to the path of enlightenment earned him admiration from his fellow monks. However, with this admiration came a subtle danger: pride. Arjuna began to take pride in his spiritual achievements. He believed that he was on the verge of enlightenment, far ahead of the other monks. His humility, which had once been genuine, became a mask for his growing ego. One day, during a meditation session, Swami Dhyan sensed this shift in Arjuna. He called him aside and said, "You are walking a dangerous path, my son. The greatest obstacle to enlightenment is not the world outside, but the ego within. Even the ego of a monk can bind you as tightly as the chains of wealth and power." Arjuna was taken aback. He had not realized how deeply his pride had taken root. He asked, "But Master, how do I overcome this? How do I rid myself of this ego?" Swami Dhyan smiled gently and replied, "You cannot rid yourself of the ego, for even the desire to do so is born from the ego. Instead, observe it, see it for what it is. The moment you stop identifying with it, it loses its power." This was a turning point for Arjuna. He realized that his journey was far from over. Enlightenment was not a goal to be achieved, but a state of being that emerged from profound self-awareness and surrender. The final trial years passed, and Arjuna continued his practice with renewed humility and insight. He no longer sought to be the best monk or to attain enlightenment as a badge of honor. Instead, he surrendered to the flow of life, allowing each moment to unfold without resistance. One winter, the monastery was struck by a terrible storm. The winds howled and snow piled up against the walls, cutting off the monks from the outside world. Food became scarce, and the cold was unbearable. Many of the younger monks fell ill, and some even lost hope. Arjuna, now one of the elder monks, took it upon himself to care for the sick. He gave up his own food to feed those who were weaker, stayed awake through the nights tending to the ill, and offered words of comfort to those in despair. His actions were selfless, not born from a desire for recognition, but from a deep sense of compassion. One night, as he sat beside a dying monk, Arjuna felt a deep peace wash over him. The monk, in his final moments, whispered, "Thank you, brother, for your kindness. You have shown me the face of the divine." As the monk passed away, Arjuna realized that true enlightenment was not found in isolation, nor in the perfection of spiritual practice. It was found in love, compassion, and the simple act of serving others. Enlightenment. With this realization, Arjuna finally understood the essence of Swami Dhyan's teachings. Enlightenment was not a distant, lofty goal, but the recognition of the divine in every moment, every being, and every action. It was the dissolution of the boundaries between self and other, between monk and world. Arjuna's journey had come full circle. He had left the world seeking liberation, only to find that true liberation lay in embracing the world with an open heart. As the storm passed and the monastery returned to its peaceful routine, Arjuna continued his life as a monk, but now with a profound inner freedom. He no longer sought enlightenment, for he had already found it, in the silence of his soul, in the faces of his fellow monks, and in the eternal rhythm of the universe. The eternal journey was not one of renunciation, but of connection, love, and selfless service. And thus, Arjuna's story became a legend in the monastery, a reminder that the path to enlightenment is as much about embracing the world as it is about transcending it. This tale of